3DS, three dudes have a common interest in cryptocurrency, finance, technology, sports, science, politics, and current events. The content provided in this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as financial advice. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and the guests and do not represent professional financial guidance. Always consult with a certified financial advisor or conduct your own research before making any investment decisions. Listeners act on this information at their own risk. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 10. We did it. We made it here. We didn't think we had the content. Lies. We had the content. Always have. We got Corey in the building. We got Nate in the building.
What
I
up? What
can't see
up?
him. He's blind with his camouflage corny joke. We got Corey about to spit some hard crypto game on us this week. We got Nate gonna lay down some political game, and I'm gonna hit y'all with just a dash of sports this week, just a dash. So first thing, it's Sunday. We usually record on Wednesdays. Feels a little off, but we're here. We made it. Had a rough week. So much ground to cover. Before we get into it, please like, subscribe, follow, hit the little chimey bell thing on your YouTube page, and let's get into it. Michael Saylor released a list, 21 rules of Bitcoin. Uh, have you boys seen it?
I'm asking 21 questions.
Yeah, I seen it.
Absolutely, I've seen it. I wrote half of them. We were on a call. I had to get in there and dial up with them. Where did I put it? I sent it to you, boys. Where is it at? Read them off. Here it is.
I mean, I don't want to go through them all, but I think number 9 is very, very important for listeners. Only buy and it's not just Bitcoin, any investment stock, crypto. Only invest as much as you're willing to lose. I think that is so important. People go into this game.
No. You read that wrong, my G. That says only buy Bitcoin with the money you can't afford to lose.
Okay. Same, but different.
It's a
I
little.
mean,
It's a more of an urgency factor. I can't lose this money. What he's really saying there is you're fighting the inflation crisis by buying these assets that are going to appreciate over time versus your deflation value in your fiat currency over time. So yeah, number 9 is huge. Number 1 is huge. Pretty much all of them are huge. 21, spread the love. I don't know. The Bitcoin maxis aren't very loving these days. They hate everything, anything about another crypto sector. They start snapping. It's not supposed to be like, well, you didn't dedicate your software to run these programs. These people did. These companies invested all their money and their networking into that. Not to get straight into ISO, but I was just throwing that out there because the fucking max is going crazy. So spread that love. Don't sell your Bitcoin.
and for number 1, those who understand buy Bitcoin. Just true. I mean, most folks who get into it and figure it out, first thing they say, a newbie. Oh, that's that Bitcoin stuff. Yeah. Buy Bitcoin. Store value. Fight
I was a,
quality.
I was a big fan of 12 too.
Number 12, all your models will be destroyed.
I hope so.
They're gone, Corey. They're done.
I
They're
hope so.
about to be obsolete, my friend, because we got it coming.
That's fine. We'll just find a new one.
And find a new one.
Find a new one.
Create a new model.
Exactly.
Kapow! That motherfucker gonna be swinging. Look at that. You got what?
Shit,
One,
it's even
two,
more red
five,
or
eight.
orange than that. That's the old one.
No, this 32, homie.
That's the
But
old one.
5 of them got denied on the Senate floor. I think
That's-
Montana, North Dakota. I want to say one of those northeastern states too.
Sorry,
So
they just got to rewrite, rework it.
it's just going to take for one state to do it.
Yep.
And then it's going to be like a, domino effect.
Well, since you showed that, I mean, Utah just where's it at?
They passed that motherfucking damn, that's
Yeah,
Texas.
Utah Blockchain and Digital Innovation Amendments Bill has moved to the Senate Revenue and Taxation Committee for approval. Uh, if passed, this will allow state to invest 10% of the state funds in the Bitcoin and other digital assets.
which is huge.
Cointelegraph. Yeah, that's massive.
I haven't seen a prediction under 1 billion. So you got to you start your multipliers out. I mean, your easiest floor is going to be 30, 35 states, 35 billion. Quick
Yep.
math, but as we saw that chart, most of them are 1.5. I think Florida's 1.5, but that's at the state level. Again, we talk about that localization breakdown. That's when
Yep.
it's really going to start popping. Then if they introduce that 20% at the government level here in the United States, I mean, the rat race is going to be outrageous at that point, because they were talking about buying 1%, 5%. That's cool, but you talk about 20%. Now you've absorbed all of that from the market. 80% left, 10% is gone. We can't find it. It's in hard wallets. It's going to be done for. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Although it sucks right now, I know it sucks. Everything's fucking bleeding, but like we always talk about, it's time to keep your cost average going and buy down in some area. Hell, I mean, like I sit here and say that I'm still buying up in damn near everything. Like it shit's still high,
Yeah.
depending on your timeline. Everything, it's all about where you bought in and where you're at. But
There's so much to unpack with you just said. I want to stay with kind of the Michael Saylor theme, the 20% that he was talking about. Once one nation state adopts I mean, there's only room for so much. So that supply and demand is going to go through the roof. It's going to be exciting. Um, with that, we're in a race with the rest of the world to try to hurry up and get our federal side going, which this coming week, Senator Cynthia Loomis is going to be meeting with her subcommittee, and they're going to be discussing ways to kind of navigate these waters aside from the on the state level. I think on the state level, as I predicted, I think Utah is going to be the one. I think Arizona follows right after that. And then once they kind of see that framework, once that framework gets laid out, it's going to be go, go, go from there. However, like Nate was saying, that supply it's just going to shrink. That pool is getting shot more and more shallow, and that just means that the price is going to go up. You don't need to understand a whole heck of a lot other than supply and demand is a real thing. I mean, look at eggs. That's the hot topic right now. The avian flu going around. They're killing birds. They're not laying eggs. Takes like I heard them 3 to 6
no,
weeks, something like that. Anyway,
it is true, but the egg thing is crazy because not everything is just face value. You have to look at the actual information that there was 100 million chickens slaughtered in the last quarter of 2024, which led to that price action that you're seeing because of the demand. So it's not just like, oh, eggs are up higher because they're up higher. There's a reason. And most of the time there's a reason for everything, unless you're USAID, but we'll get into that here in a little while.
Through the jab at the end.
Corey, you got anything you want to say about supply, demand, Michael Saylor, the state level, federal level, where we're going?
Well, I mean, we talked about the state. I think the states are going to be the first to do it over federal. I think we talked about Utah, probably Utah, or was it Arizona? Just the way they're moving, they seem to be moving quickly and
Mm-hmm.
without any restrictions. We were talking about states putting in 1 billion. There was a senator from Texas who basically is trying to pass to where he doesn't want a limit, no limit as far as the state being able to buy. Not like he doesn't want to be locked in or we're buying 1 billion. So that's interesting to see. Um, Kind of what he was just talking about, how it sucks right now. I think everybody's kind of feeling that, especially after with this whole like what was that on Thursday with the Bybit hack. So that was
We're
kind of
getting there.
frustrating because we were starting to move. We were starting to gain momentum. We got to 99.5. We're thinking we're going to maybe touch 100 again. We just got crushed. So, uh, it's kind of frustrating, but I think you should use, you gotta, they tell you not to do anything off your feelings and emotions, but I think you should use them in an inverse way. So when you're feeling down and like, oh, this sucks, it's probably a good time to buy. When you're excited because prices are high, it might be a good time to take a little profit. Certain coins you could have probably took a nice XLM, for example, you could have took a nice little profit on them. Now they're down probably 50, 60%, excuse me, depending on when you got in and then been buying back in about this time. But again, with the typical 4-year cycle or your time frame, everybody's kind of been expecting at least February to see some kind of action. I mean, in the altcoins, I'm not talking about Bitcoin. Our altcoin season is so overdue. It's crazy. Like we haven't really seen any movement. We had that movement back in November, December from specific coins, but meme coins really haven't done anything. And other utility coins are just kind of, we're in a 3-year freaking price suppression of alts right now. So when they do wake up, I think it's going to be significant, but just kind of, you know, when don't most people get nervous and scared and then sell their bags when you should be doing the opposite. You should be buying, like that's the time to double down. And then again, same thing whenever you're up and you're like, oh my God, I'm up so much, you just pull out a little bit because when the market does drop again, those coins that you didn't buy into, now's the time to take some of the profit you had and roll it into these positions that you don't have or pad your primaries. So, and
Beautifully
again,
said.
buying down is always a tough thing to do when the prices have been dropped, especially if you're already in lower than what current prices are.
All right. So you mentioned alt season. That's on my notes here to talk about. When do you feel alt season's going to kind of kick in? I mean, there's so much speculation, but doing your technical analysis, where do you perceive alt season to kind of start trickling in?
March, April.
March or April?
Yeah, I'm sticking to my March and April.
Okay. So with typical alt season, do you normally see kind of how we had that little run up in November and then in the December and then it came, now it's like it's been slowly falling back down. Is that typical of altcoins? Because a lot of them ran up and then now they're like starting, like you said, starting to stair step back down.
Yeah, that's kind of fits the narrative. Sometimes it's a little sooner, like
Hmm.
between January to March, you see a lot of movement in different sectors of crypto, whether it's DeFi, NFTs, or right now RWAs is what's running. But I honestly think we're just seeing manipulation in the market from everywhere, honestly, because of I think people realize big money realizes that once these things are implemented in governments and states are buying and pension funds, like they're talking about doing BTC backed loans for pension plans. Like I think they're trying to hold it down as long as they can. Because again, I think Bitcoin's fine, honestly. But the fact that we've been going sideways, because it's supposed to be Bitcoin runs, goes sideways, alts run behind it. But the Bitcoin dominance is so high right now. We need to see it come down so some of that money can roll into it. But people are just focused on honestly bull crap. I'm not buying these narratives that the Libra coin crashed the market because I can tell you right now, like we were talking about Bitcoin maxis, they don't give a shit about that. They're not buying Libra coin. They hear Libra got rugged, they're just laughing and like I'm gonna go buy some more. That's why you should have bought Bitcoin. That's not what crashed
Hmm.
the market. And I said this the other night on the phone. There's always some narrative for why what's going on is going on. I just don't see that. Like it's not Libra again. That when Trump
Yeah.
coin won, they blame Trump coin, and they blame the Melania coin. I could see that crashing Trump coin because everybody was like, "What is going on with the campaign and the administration?" But uh, I don't know. Again, this is always some narrative. And then the same thing with Bybit. You know, that happened, and now the Bitcoin price crashes. Now we're blaming it on that. So, people need a finger to point. So,
For those of you that don't know, Bybit, uh, Abu Dhabi uh, fund or not fund. Oh God bless
exchange.
exchange. There you go. They were hacked. Was it 2 or 1.5 billion in Ethereum?
$1.4 billion in Ethereum.
In Ethereum, which I don't know. Common sense says if it was snagged by I don't know. It's just that's a weird situation when you kind of start reading into it. I mean, it's allegedly this North Korean hacker. Um, but it was on a cold wallet and it had to be verified. The transfer had to be verified by like a few different people. It just seems super strange how that happened. Again,
Illusion.
yeah, I think there's some other stuff going on there that we don't know about, or for a reason, like Corey was mentioning. I just it just seems really sus when you kind of look at it because it's like, how the hell did a cold wallet get hacked?
Exactly. Somebody had to give
Unless
up
it
those
was like,
keys.
unless it was like something like I could see like a ledger when you keep your actual seed phrase online somewhere. But again, it had to be verified by multiple parties. So that's the part that I'm perplexed on. I don't understand that, and the common sense in me, maybe the conspiracy in me says, hold on now, there's something going on here. Somebody's doing something. We don't know the full story. So all these things Corey mentioned, they're little, that's the narratives that they keep trying to pin on it to make it sound okay. And it's honestly, it's damaging to the ecosystem. It's bad players. The pump.fun, since you mentioned that, which the Libra rug by the president, Javier Malaya of Argentina, allegedly had a hand in. I don't know. I think when it comes like we're all grown men and women, and if you're putting your money into a meme coin and you put $1 million on something and you get rugged, you knew the risk going in. Like you're not putting $1 million in some like I don't know. It just seems to be a little petty to put some like legislation because they're talking about putting some like legislation on pump.fun. Like it's a terrible thing. I don't care for it because I don't like all these like ridiculous rug pulls, but I understand they're like, let's cut down on some of this like uh
Yeah,
insider
but
trading
at the same
collusion.
time, that's the number one thing pissing me off is the regulation coming from it. Because to your point, why the fuck would you put that type of money in there? You understand what this game is. You know what you're doing right now. You understand when you buy it 6 zeros and a 1 2, what you're trying to do. It's the same thing. Like they don't stop people from gambling, excuse me. They just regulate it hardly. So you can go in a casino and throw all your money. It's the same situation. You have to understand. Again, this is where you got to go do your research and understand what is happening. Am I gonna invest my life savings into Malay's fucking Libra coin out of this area, Hawk Tua girl? Like so many people, I put 30K in Hawk Tua. Why? Are you fucking retarded? Excuse me. YouTube ain't gonna like that, but like seriously though, it doesn't make any sense. And then those people want to clap back. Well, there should be a system in place that regulates it. It's like, no, you're fucking up what we tried to do: deregulate, decentralize the money, so we can operate as adults, peer to peer. You just invested in the wrong thing because I don't know what your timeline's showing you, your algorithm showing you.
I hate to say it, but anything on pump.fun is not an investment. You're strictly
Facts.
gambling. You're better off going to the casino and playing the damn slot machine. The percentages of profitable traders on pump.fun is a 0.5%. is a 0.5%. So the people that are throwing all like major money like that around, you're just, I hate to say, but you're an idiot.
I would say those are probably the insiders that have profited.
Exactly. So then that number goes down even smaller. The number that I seen, it was saying 0.5% for people that make over 10K. Anybody that's over 100,000 is 0.004%. So to your point, yeah, these are probably people that are launching the coins, the insiders. So really nobody's making money on pump.fun. If you want to do that, then you're just running a big risk and throwing your money in the drain. Um,
So
you're better off buying Bitcoin. So this is what I'm saying. This is the trick that they play in your head. Oh, come on, Pump.Fun, because you hear a story of some kid putting $100 in and making 30 grand, and now everybody thinks that they're going to be the next Michael Jordan Pump.Fun trader. And then instead of, if you would have just took that same amount of money, by the time you lose all this money, if you would have took all that money and put it into Bitcoin or a top 10 coin, you would have been profitable. You know what I'm saying? So you're better off going, if you want to trade, go trade stock options. Go trade Bitcoin spot or Bitcoin futures. Get off the meme coins. There's no technical analysis. There's no fundamentals. There's no, what are you trading off of other than pure speculation?
That's
So
it.
100%.
They saw Dave Portnoy on there fucking throwing money and going. And again, for some reason, I don't think people understand they don't have the influence and or the capital to do what these people that they watch are doing. It's insane to me. You got to marginalize your fucking funds and diversify it and start making money.
facts.
I guess I just feel like,
I'm just
I
gonna make a
agree.
3DS coin.
I'm gonna rug pull y'all bitches. 125 million, we gone.
I was gonna say, like, I agree. Like, I understand the ecosystem. I understand why it's here. We should all be adults, but I also agree with, all right, well, let's put a guardrail on just to protect. Like, a casino has very minimal laws, like you said. We can put very minimal laws in place. That way, when we don't have millions of coins launching daily, we can have a select few that are vetted or whatever. If that's the ecosystem you want to play in, there's a little bit of guidance to that. And I don't know. I guess I'm the minority in that sense. I'm okay with, like, just a little bit. I don't, but I know, also know that once you start adding that little bit, then it starts getting added
Well, it's the
to.
same
And
thing with the Second Amendment. Why people we don't, nobody wants to amend that because once you start, now it's open. If something's closed and you never open it, you're good to go. Like people are just going to work around it. They're going to figure it out. But
Pandora's box.
once you open it up to accommodate for everybody's fucking problems, now we have issues. Same thing with all these fat fucking people in the country right now. Same thing for all, whatever. I'm not against you, LGBTQA, like all these things. They open it and then it just expands and expands and expands until it explodes and then it gets overcorrected and everybody wants to overreact to that correction. It's like we gotta we gotta balance it out here, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Again, I just feel like the people that are going on pump.fun, this is probably like less than 10-20% of the crypto space. Like people that are engaging and doing those things, this is the minority. Uh, let them do, if they want to go blow their money, let them go blow their money. But I don't, the institutional players, the early adopters of crypto and the people that are educated in the space, they are not going on pump.fun and doing all this stuff. Like I said, now if they are doing it, they're on the other side of it. They're the founders. They're launching a coin. They're doing this. They're not the retail traders jumping on board. All those retail traders are the people that in 2020 and 21 were looking to jump into Doge super early, Shiba, and all these other meme coins that were popping up. Like that's for that crowd, the meme coin enthusiasts. Um, but and it's, you give them an inch, they can take a mile. So it's a slippery slope with that. Um,
It's like the money movement as well. Like, the less amount of coins that are created and rugged and moved through there, that there's I don't know. I guess in my head it's just like it keeps the money from getting spread too thin because there's so many coins that get launched daily. It's insane. There's I don't know. There's just too many damn coins. Like
Yeah,
I
but
don't you shouldn't be able to watch a 12-year-old, just go on there and cook somebody. Like that's nuts. Like there should be like a little bit of something there, right? Like a 12-year-old or whatever, just somebody
uh,
left their
that just
charts or
shows
whatever up.
the intelligence of the people on there. They're letting a 12-year-old whoop their ass on there. He's smarter than them. He's figured the game out. He's taking the grown men's money. Good kudos to that kid.
Uh,
Nate, you're muted.
I was, oh, sorry. I said, fuck that kid. Listen, the replace the kid with any other organization. It's the same fundamental problem.
Yes.
Pharmaceutical industry, multi-trillion-dollar industry. They fucking make you sick, and then they provide a treatment, not a cure, a treatment plan to keep you coming back with a recurring payment. Fucking insane. Take that motherfucker. I don't care about that. If a 13-year-old kid fucks you up on some finances, that's your problem. Are you serious? That's crazy. That's where I say I don't like to regulate. If you want to regulate, there's so many things that need to be regulated outside of idiots getting pulled by a child or the hawk to a girl again or Javier Millet, whatever, whoever you want to point your finger at and say, well, they told me to invest in this and I was going to. Nah, player. You got DYOR, my friend.
Very true. Having that said, Kanye's launching his coin next week, allegedly. Here comes
What's it
another
called?
rug pull. I'm sure it's gonna be like yay or some
Hell,
shit.
yeah, SS fucking yay.
So I'm sure it's gonna be another rug pull. The market's probably gonna start bouncing back up, and then we'll get this giant rug pull, and it'll come back down, and they'll blame it on that. Anyways, moving
Perfect. I'll
on.
buy some
That was
more.
a that was a good topic there. Good heated discussion. Glad we could make it through that. Franklin Templeton filed their S1 for their Solana ETF. That's good news since Solana's been taking a hit from all this bullshit. Um,
Well, that's what
and then
happens when you're the number one developer. You got problems. It's pros
it's
and
the
cons.
casino. Yeah.
It's
It's the
coming for you.
casino.
Could be all by
Um,
design, though, for all we know. They could be rugging all this to literally intentionally drag Solana's price down so they can get it cheaper. Think
yeah.
about it. It was just at 250 recently. So let's launch some shit coins that everybody's gonna go buy. We're gonna rug it, and it's gonna affect the main thing that we want, which is Solana. That way we can scoop it up at a lower price. I mean, this is what they always do in the news. Like 21, when they came out with the whole, oh, Bitcoin's bad for the environment and it's running, sucking up all this energy. But that was just a narrative they pitched, and then you see price drop and people go working against it. But in reality, the United States banking system from the banks and ATMs uses more energy than Bitcoin's whole network to run. So it's all in the perspective that they pitch it to you to basically trick you out of your bags.
I wonder what that analytic is. Like a ATM. Every time you run up on one of them suckers, it's a whirling away. I'm like, man, the hell they got running in there all the time.
24/7.
Yep. Anyway, with the since we're on ETFs, last week Brazil launched the use of XRP. Let me pull it up. Brasa Bank launched a stablecoin pegged to the real on the Ripple blockchain. So that's pretty big for XRP and Ripple. We got one country out here using it on the blockchain. It's a start. It's a start.
There's a lot of ETP products coming out in Europe that they're sure not talking about a whole lot here. JP Morgan. Again, it's these people, and I'm with Corey. They can do things to manipulate these markets so easily. every time I see Jamie Dimon speak in the US, I just laugh at him because he's saying these same talking point, the negative Bitcoin talking points. But I'm looking at JP Morgan EU stacking Bitcoin, all these other countries stacking Bitcoin under that same business title. So you just, again, be aware,
Man,
look at the information.
they're 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 running a freaking circus, and then they're running in the back door on your ass, kicking it in and taking what they want, while you're over there like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, just I don't know. You got to have a long-term mindset. That's the safest way because they're gonna play their games. This is what it is. It's a game. They're playing four-dimensional chess while you're playing checkers. So tighten up.
Tighten up. That's what we've been doing though. We tighten up. When the market tightens up, we buy down, we buy up. It don't matter. I mean,
Buy some shit right now.
it, here's what's great. You got tons of influencers. You got us telling you to buy I think everybody stands on like a buy Bitcoin kind of stance for most part. Most people like that's the one buy. Now the internet is telling you to do it. You got ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, Llama, Grok. You prompt it to ask, you ask it what is the best asset to own for however many years, and it'll tell you Bitcoin.
Well, it's because AI understands computing power. Most people don't.
Correct.
And again, most people like I break it down so simply because I don't understand. I'm like, it's software. That's all it is. It's computing power. That's all it is. It's a network
Mm-hmm.
run via the internet. Now, some of these people are getting away from the internet, going to satellite, text communications, all these other adaptations to the money movement, which is just phenomenal for whoever peer to peer, whoever wants to use it. So I think just be on the lookout. I think it's going to get intense.
I mean, there's some other ones on the models, the AI models, but Bitcoin is dominant across.
Most of
Excuse
the
me,
AI
all
models pull
the
their
AI. Yep.
information from mainstream media as well. So that's just where they're trained from, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked about it a few times. Not your keys, not your coins. So whether that's the hacks that are going on, the whole Bybit thing is a good example. If you were holding, you're trusting them to hold your crypto on their cold wallet when all you got to do is spend 150 bucks and go get one of these, and then you don't have to worry about that because I'm not sharing my seed phrase with anybody so they can get into my crap. So it protects you from the manipulation, the scams, the rug pulls. Just this is where the education comes in. Like it's not that hard to figure out. If you can figure out how to transfer money from your bank account to another one, you can essentially transfer your coins from Coinbase, crypto.com, whatever exchange you're using, and transfer them to your own personal ledger and store it.
Hell, if you need help, reach out to us in the comments.
Facts. I'm a big advocate for self custody. Uh,
I mean,
22
we'll
taught me
never ask
that.
for any of your stuff. We'll point you in the direction of how to do it. We've all done it. We've done it on multiple different types of devices. Easy day.
In things like Bitcoin is the easiest to move around. There's some coins that are on the a little more on the fringe where you have to download extra software on your ledger
H
because it's
bar.
a third party ledger or a third party wallet so that you can put it on there. But things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, and all those easy money. Just take the time out, learn what you need to learn because it's insurance to save your ass. So, and it's going to help the overall space. If everybody stored their stuff on a ledger, we wouldn't see as much manipulation going on because we're literally pulling the crypto off the exchanges and locking it away. So there's it makes that supply and demand number go even smaller. So it's a smaller amount of money that they're able to manipulate versus everybody just holding their money on there. Now they can play with your money just like the banks do.
And for those who don't know, one of y'all want to explain what a cold wallet is?
It's a wallet that you're storing your crypto offline, so you're kind of taking it off the internet. Now, the way it works is you have a public key, and then you have your private key. The public key is where everybody can see what's going on the blockchain. Your private key is for you to have so that they can't access it. Hot wallet, that's a trust wallet, that's a phantom wallet. And I would even say that's better than just having it on the exchange. It's harder to get into that than the exchange. Again, you're putting your trust in somebody else or something else to do it for you. That's the lazy, easy American way, I feel. Like
Yeah.
people like convenience. Everybody does, but when it comes to your money, you should want a little less convenience because it adds those safeguards and obstacles in the way to get it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. So safety deposit box is a cold wallet
yeah.
if you were talking in banking terms.
Yeah, you're offline.
Yep. A couple hours ago, Michael Saylor posted his tracker, which means tomorrow is going to be a buy day.
Good time to buy.
What are they looking at? 2 billion? Did they raise their 2 billion? I know they were looking for 2 billion. Or he ended up selling some stock in the company, didn't he?
I
It's
believe
one of the
so.
two. He's moving so much money around. It's hard to keep track of that boy.
Facts. Yep. So we expect to see him usually when he posts on Sunday, he's buying on Monday. And so look out for some more BTC being purchased by Strategy B.
His purchases better start getting bigger because he's got all these people investing in his company so they can get that indirect exposure to
Yep.
Bitcoin, which again, I don't agree with. I've already stated how I feel on that. Like if you're gonna do it, just do it all the way. Don't
It's a safer option for him.
it's safer option. It's not as convenient, but again, I don't know. That's where the manipulation and I want to hear a country buying spot Bitcoin and self custody. All that other stuff at this point is just noise to me. Like that's just hype and get you excited. I want to hear self custody.
I see exposure. So a lot of the companies that are investing that might not necessarily be self-custodying, I see exposure. That's the positive I'm taking out of it. They're exposing themselves to it. Maybe it takes a step for that company to take the next step to self-custody.
I see collusion for the most part.
Well,
That's what I
yeah,
see.
there's
This is
going to
what
be
because this is what I was going to propose to Corey because he was talking about the ETFs and the hatred for them and why the companies buy them. And I got to thinking the other day about my early stages in the finance world, and I was particularly like a BlackRock because you're like, why would a company buy a BlackRock ETF? You have to remember statistically, BlackRock owns 35% of all of the market. So if you look at a lot of these publicly traded companies, they're 33% of that company. So they're a 33% stakeholder. What does that mean? They have more power than most of the people on the board in that company. So when you have a company that's owned by BlackRock, State Street, and what's the Vanguard, which are like your three leading, that's 80% of market capital worldwide right there. So you have them buying their own ETF. It's an infinite money glitch. It's pretty insane.
Exactly.
So yeah, so they're running up dividend. I just thought that the other day, and I wrote it down. My nice little chart here.
You got the pyramid scam over there.
Seriously, because I mean, because at the top of that, then you have to look at the umbrella, and there's a corporation that owns the top three corporations that own 80% of bro. So when people talk about it and we talk about manipulation and things, we understand it from that standpoint. We understand the perspective and the gravity of the situation. So when you, like I said, they own the majority of the market. So if I own a company that wants to buy Bitcoin and I own the company issuing the Bitcoin ETF, fuck, I'm going all in.
I mean, it's not even conspiracy. When you look into BlackRock, Like they literally own the world in the sense of like they have, like you said, they have their
They're
hands in so many
monopolizing.
things. They're monopolizing everything. Even in the sense of buying real estate and land. Like they've bought up so much real estate and property in the last 4 or 5 years. Their whole goal is to make you again, convenience. They want to make you renters for the rest of your life. They don't want you to own squat. Just like they don't want you to own your Bitcoin. So instead of you buying the real deal Holyfield, they give you their piece of shit product and say, "Oh, here you got spot Bitcoin." No, you don't. Go get the real thing. You're buying like Wolf on Wall Street said, and all this fugaziness. They're creating all
Fugazi.
these ETFs and this fund, and I don't know. It's just it's crazy. Again, I said it last week or whatever. When you invite the devil to come to dance, and he shows up, it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. Like they're not looking to make us rich. They do not want that. They don't want to make empower the people essentially. They want to empower themselves.
You have
So
to remember all of these are just byproducts of Bitcoin. That's all it is. They've taken it down like gas or like diesel is to gas, right? It's a byproduct of making gasoline. They found a way to sell it to you at a better price or maybe a little bit lower price. But do you have the actual fuel? Is that the same? Is that the same rich fuel source that came out of the ground? It refined. We took the byproduct and we sold it. Same thing with these seed oil. Same thing with all these things. So when you look at the ETF, look at it like that. Why would I buy that when I can go to the source?
this is off topic, but boy, you got a that looks like the Melania rug pull on that chart behind you. Look at that! Look at that wick. That thing dropped straight to the floor.
Yeah, that was my confidence up there. You see, fear and greed.
Uh,
Nobody was complaining when Trump ran through the roof for a couple of days.
no, and I said it then. I was like, they screwed up. They had something really good going. They should have they should have launched her coin now or like next month.
They should have waited for the midterms.
Yeah, they should just let it ride. Don't release that because now you're adding you're feeling like these doubts and you're feeling the conspiracies of oh they're just out for a money grab. You know, they're just taking people's money. And even
Bad
his
actors.
coin, bad actors, and even his coin is still kind of holding its range. It's down 70%, but then you look at the or what's his name?
The
Libra.
Libra coin.
The Libra coin, the Melania coin. Those things are down like 99%. Like, no, again, they just screwed themselves with that one. I want to know who was on their crypto team that decided, yeah, let's do this.
They must not
Allegedly, it
have a
was the
crypto czar.
same team.
That's what I'm saying. They screwed themselves. They
No,
would have
it's
made
just greed. They got greedy. They wanted more.
again. I don't know. Whoever's running their crypto team is a jackass because I would have told them, no, Mr. Trump, you're the star of the show, not your wife. Like you're the president, you're the sitting president. People are gonna buy it just because of who you are. We go ahead and we throw this other coin. Now it's gonna look like what it looks like, a money grab. So
I
I'm
don't
just
care.
I'm just a regular Joe. I don't know nothing except my own
That's fair.
ignorance.
That's fair. All right. Any more crypto news y'all want to discuss for the past week? I mean, there was a lot that came down. I just hit the high points.
The hash rate is at an all-time high. So again, this is why you want to again, self-custody hash rate is the computing power of the Bitcoin network. So the higher it goes, the more secure the network is. And it makes it more difficult for the computers to mine the algorithm to unlock, to create the new blocks for the blockchain on Bitcoin. So typically, this is an indicator that, the market's going to move, and it's not like Bitcoin's shrinking, put it like that. It's just constantly growing. The network is getting stronger. Um, so yeah, I just want to throw that in there. The hash rate is significantly moving up. I want
I
to see
would.
the chart, the price chart look like the hash rate chart. That's all I'll say.
When's the last time you looked at the altcoin chart?
Like versus Bitcoin.
Yeah, or just
Uh,
altcoins in general, because there was a golden cross.
yeah, but golden crosses are a lagging indicator. So we probably got the golden cross maybe, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks ago. But the actual movement of the price happened November, December. Uh, you can look at Bitcoin's golden cross. It happened, I want to say, right after the whole price ran up in last year of March. We had a golden cross. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just that it is a good indicator as far as a long term, but you got to know that it's lagging behind and where
Mm-hmm.
it's at. It's going to happen after the move has already happened. So what they're telling us is that we have more room to run. That's what I take from it. We got more room to go, but again, we've been in a 3 year downtrend for the altcoin chart the last time I looked at it. So we're way overdue, which is a good thing and a bad thing. That just means it's going to be more of an explosive move when it does move. But
Hopefully, it
I'm
looks
in the
like Nate's
camp.
chart back there without the drop.
Yes, I'm in the camp of it's going to be more of a utility. This is a more of a utility institutional run this go around. I'm not placing my bets in memes and meme coins this go around. Like, yeah, sure, you'll have some going on, but again, with things like Pump.Fun, that crowd is they're off somewhere else. They're in another
Mm-hmm.
corner of crypto trying to play their game. I don't think this is that run. I mean, look at NFTs. NFTs have they're quiet. They're quiet. I know the SEC dropped some lawsuit or they were looking into OpenSea or whatever, but
Mm-hmm. Dropped it.
the NFT space needs a major catalyst to come into play. They need a major player. And I think that is gaming. I think somebody's got to do a game right that implements NFTs. Hopefully GTA 6 hits it on the head.
I think it will be. I don't have
Yeah,
any
that'd be
doubts.
sick.
After jumping back into five in preparation, like and seeing the amount of depth in the game and the vision that they had 15 years ago when they made that fucking game or started
Yeah.
developing that, man, this next generation is going to be, I don't know. I think it's going to blow the roof off. Like you said, NFT implementation in the video games, live trading within the game itself, skins, cars, web, all these non fungible things that we think about as useless the gaming industry is going to break out in. I think Fortnite was a great kind of tipping point in the market for gaming to understand the level of liquidity that could come from after or post production implementation of microtransactions. So once I think Rockstar Games understands that, they're going to capture that and they're going to utilize that blockchain to help them out. I think the rumors are true. Why would you know even just having this conversation and playing the game, I think it would be incredible because then you could have that real peer-to-peer decentralization that you wanted to see out of it in a third party operating system with a global network.
I mean, 15
Sky's the
years to
limit.
this is like the longest developed game, I think, and the most money they put into it. The current GTA, I don't know if you could do it on GTA Online, but I know when you're playing the story mode, you could pull out your phone in the game and you could trade stocks in the game. So they already kind of have a trading environment there. They have real estate there, so you could buy, like we said, what if that gets put in an NFT form and you could buy and sell those properties? I'm sure they're going to make it to where, hey, everybody can buy this property, okay? But Joe Blow put, I don't know, let's just say 10 billion of in-game currency to developing that property. Now you could buy it if you want, or he could sell it to whoever, so you don't have to start from scratch. I can see that happening.
Right. And there's a limit on like how many people can own that. So,
Mhm.
be that like if it was like right on the beach, a sick ass condo with a pool, well, all the bells and whistles, it'd be like, 5,000 people can own this. Well, the price just went up because now
Mhm.
everybody wants that piece of property.
And there's scarcity
Yep.
because right as the game stands right now, everybody can own the same property. There's no limit on it. Like everybody's going to the same safe house because it was the cheapest one. It's the
Yep.
starting point or whatever. So
Yeah, we
it's
both
it's
jumped.
interesting.
We both jumped back into Grand Theft Auto Online just to kind of get a feel for the ecosystem again. And I just, we were big Call of Duty players, and just the amount of bugs and problems that you experience in a day-to-day gaming session. If you played it for an hour, the amount of crap that goes on, can't get people in a lobby, you get chat banned for saying fuck or whatever, It just there's so many things going on, and then you turn on GTA and it's like seamless, and it's so intuitive, and there's so much going on all the time. It's almost overwhelming. There's so much going on. I mean, like the fact that like he can jump in my lobby, I can jump in his lobby, I can jump in your lobby where we got a crew, and then we got these side missions. It's just you can play darts, you can go to it's just like so much. I'm like, this
It's a world within a world.
it
Shout
is.
out to
And
Ron John for tokening that because
it's it's so relieving to come back to it after playing COD for so long and dealing with so many problems. And I just can't understand how that game has so many accolades and it has so many problems. And well, I understand why. I do understand why. I don't, and Nate's gonna give me a master class real quick. I understand why.
I
It's
have
just,
my theories.
it's, it's nice to enjoy a game again. That's ultimately what it boils down to.
That game is refined. They've been able to refine it over time and make it better. The problem with Madden, uh, Call of Duty is they release a new game every year instead of taking on this model that GTA Online has done. It's keeping the same game but keep adding to it and making it better. Literally, they could do that. They could do that with Call of Duty. It's the same game. Call of Duty Mobile is a good example. If you've ever played that, it's basically, I mean, the graphics aren't always great, but it's the same game. They add to it over time to where now all the GTA, the COD games that have come out over the years are condensed into one. They take the best maps, they take guns from all these games and they put it in one. That's the way every time you come out with a new game, you're starting over and you're developing from scratch instead of just adding to and making it better. I think that's going to be the way that games should move because it's going to benefit players and the developers. GTA is going to make more money when they release that game than they put in probably in the first 90 days. They're going to make their billion back quick. And then all the microtransactions, and it's going to be out for the next 10 years. They're going to make probably $100 billion on it. So again, I don't know. I think it's this model of corporate America wants to come out with a new $70 game that is just a slight tweak to it to, oh, you got this new way of building your guns in it. So everybody runs to go buy it. Why not keep the same Call of Duty and just implement seasons or whatever and just make it over long term, enhance the graphics over time, add this feature to
Well,
it.
you already made the point. It's less money, less currency.
Yeah, but
Call of
it,
Duty adopted the fucking microtransaction model, what, 4 years ago, something like that, and they've been building that empire instead of building their fucking game, which really pisses me off.
but if you took the microtransactions, you buy, there's no point to buying in Call of Duty, I feel, because you're gonna lose it. You know what I'm saying? Next year, the new game comes out, you're not gonna really be able to use a lot of the guns you purchase because
It's not
I don't
backwards compatible and all
yeah,
that
it's not
shit. Yeah.
backwards compatible. You can't transfer this package that I bought on Call of Duty 4 or whatever and move it to 5, like because
I
it's a
mean,
whole new
they've
game.
been trying to do that, but
They can do it in Warzone, but they can't do it from game to game.
So they got the idea right with Warzone. They're following the Fortnite model of this is a free game, but
oh, they're
if
100% used. They stole the whole blueprint from them. That's all they're doing.
mhm.
I- I'm just yeah, we got way off topic on the gaming, uh, but I mean on topic but off topic. It's GTA is so much better. That's it.
Yeah.
Point blank. Period. I mean we like our shooter games. Um, there's just not a lot of them out there, and I I don't I want something more realistic. That's that's where I'm at. I don't like Fortnite. I don't like Apex. I don't like. I just want to just drop me in. Let's have some good maneuvers, some good mechanics, some good weapon systems, and let's make them accurate. Give us a mode for that. That's all I'm saying, Call of Duty. Give us a mode for that. If you want to have the sliding and the jumping gives you extra XP on the hit marks, that's fine. Go for it. But give me a mode to where I can just play like mono. You know what I'm saying? Anyways,
Off the grid. Have you played it?
I
I think
downloaded it.
that yeah, same.
It wouldn't even let me get through the tutorial. It kept crashing. I know it's a beta, but
Oh man.
I kept getting dev errors. And at that time, I had downloaded GTA 5, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going in. I got to build my empire up." Y'all need some guns on that West Coast? Let me know.
So the last thing I wanted to cover on the crypto, SEC did drop the Coinbase lawsuit. That's a pretty big deal. Um, the only other thing worth mentioning, I kind of was thinking about was with all these layoffs, we have so many things on the SEC's desk right now, and these layoffs are happening. We need we need these documents to get pushed across desks. So hopefully it doesn't because they're talking SEC's talking about having a shutdown. They don't have enough workers and blah blah blah. Anyway, that's go to their website and it says that they're experiencing temporary shutdown. So I wonder what that looks like moving forward, if that extends our timeline, or if it's just this is just again part of this like pause that we're in, this sideways movement. It's interesting. Nothing.
No, I'm looking at something.
I mean,
I'm
good to
trying.
go. I mean, it sounds like a great fucking excuse to me. I feel like half the paperwork on that desk, they already know the answer. You just need to stamp it. Quit playing. I think it's fine. Again, there's so much focus around other things and a lot of the fraud and a lot of abuse, and SEC will get it its time.
All right, Mike. I thought maybe that would be a factor to delay.
Yeah, but they could come out tomorrow and just say, "Hey, we fucking approved all of them because we understand it." It's all a delay until it's not.
Right. Okay.
The answer will always be no unless you ask. They got to get them on the table. I mean, half of them people just got confirmed. Everybody wants to talk timelines, man. It's like we got to calm the fuck down, people. We literally just got the confirmation for the cabinet that the administration wants to run. We're literally just getting through that process as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
although it's a big ticket item for everybody in crypto, it's not as big for if you were at the helm of the U.S. government at the moment, what would you be saying about, is my focus on a Solana ETF right now and getting somebody in there who can approve that, or is my focus on geopolitical issues, calming down this war, bringing home hostages, taking care of $4.7 trillion in unauthorized credit cards and all these other things? It's like that's so low on the totem pole. But
Yeah,
like
the
I said, you
prioritization is
have
there.
those people who, Mr. Lutwig, David Sachs, all these people, they're just now getting into their positions to where they can start to work.
Yep. Confirmation on Letnick last week.
So that's the guy that
Congratulations.
runs the sovereign wealth fund. He's doing something else in the cat. I can't. It's just slipped my mind. But like
Mm-hmm.
I said, the people we want in there who is going to make these decisions to push through the legislation that you want to see, they just now getting, like, they start tomorrow.
Yep. Correct. Correct. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the other confirmations on the next segment. But Corey, do you got any game you want to give the folks this week?
Yeah, self custody. Not your keys, not your coin. I do believe that altcoin season is coming up within the next 2 months. I've noticed that Ethereum is trying to gain ground against Bitcoin. Like today, it's up versus Bitcoin being down, and that's kind of typically indicative of altcoin season. When Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin, that's when you see a lot of this is that tier that they talk about as money flows into Bitcoin, then it kind of
Mm-hmm.
flows down that tier. So I feel like we're getting close. It don't feel like it, but like what we were talking about earlier, prices are up compared to where they were 6 months ago. So with that being said, what's it going to take to go back to your all-time high? It literally takes one day for the alts to go 50, 60%, which is very doable. I was looking at the crypto bubble. Some of them are only down 30, 20% on the year. That's nothing. Like the altcoins can do that literally in a day. We've seen it happen. We've seen them do almost 100% in a day. So when
Mm-hmm.
things start going crazy and you see within a 30-day period, things move 400%, things like that, you're not even going to be worried about what's going on right now.
And it's so crazy because it literally takes like one or two of them, and like just everybody,
FOMO,
yeah,
they
just
start piling in.
floods. Yeah, I mean, you look at the stable coins, and you're like, holy shit, USDT had 142 in it yesterday, and now it's got, you know, 100 billion in it, and you're like, I mean, like 42 billion is not a whole hell of a lot, but that's like crazy compared to what it normally is, right? So it's going to take one, and it's going to be lightning fast. Don't
It's
screenshot.
like a hive mind mentality. Like, oh my God, everybody's piling in. Let me get in. Like,
Yep,
stupid.
yep, 100%. Okay, uh, 5 coins, 15 seconds, starting now. Nate, go.
Bitcoin, Ondo, XRP, H bar, Solana, even though it's having a bad day.
All right, Corey, 15 seconds, go.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, AVAX. Uh, I say VeChain?
No, you didn't.
VeChain.
By a little V chain, by a little polka dot. I bought some V
Beautiful.
chain the other day in the dip. About to buy some Ondo right here for you people. Just so you know, we about it. It's
Bam.
game time, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you
Live.
DCA. I'm upside down in Ondo. I'm negative return.
Not
Buying it out,
anymore.
buying it out.
So I'll give some this week. I'm gonna go with Doge because it's slow and it tends to run high. I'm gonna go with XLM. I'm gonna go with H bar. I'm gonna go with AVAX and Bitcoin. That's where I'm at this week.
Solid.
I'm not doing a bottle this week. It's sober Sunday here, so staying out of the bottle, drinking water, hydrating, getting ready for the week, getting ready for the hard work to be put in. So that'll move us into our next segment of what's happening, Nate. Talk to the folks. How you feel about Cash Patel getting his confirmation?
Monumental confirmation briefing right there. Tulsa. I mean, just all the interconnection you have between all of these confirmations that we recently saw. What a different direction we're going in, ladies and gentlemen. And I think you can have a little weight lifted off your shoulder. I know there's still a lot of hooting and hollering, and Tulsi's a Russian. Everybody's a fucking Russian asset. We get it. Game over. But I think the collusion, some of it is about to come to a fucking screeching halt with that boy Cash Money Patel up in there. You seen them eyes? You can't escape the vision. So wonderful on that front. More, a little bit of trial tribulation going on in the Middle East again with the Hamas situation. It's getting a little tricky in the hostage deal, but people are coming home and They got a couple bodies back in Israel, so not bad there. Doge is dominating the headlines, the media, the X space, fucking any space you want to be in. They got their hands in it. And I find it funny the amount of, the left wants to play the disinformation, misinformation campaign, but at the same time, they seem to not understand the information that's being presented. These places are being audited. Most of them, most all of them, none of them have their funding is frozen from the top down. You got to remember these are hierarchical structures. It's frozen here. All these people, I've seen people coming out, oh, the veterans ain't getting their benefits, this and that. It's like, nah, I got paid the other day, bro. Oh, people on Social Security, they can't get their money. Yes, they can. All of their money's 100% funded. All of these situations where they're trying to scare people and fearmonger people into this hatred and mass psychosis, it's just nonsense. So look at the sources, go read what was actually said, not what fucking Sunny Hostin's out here putting to you on the View. I can't believe this show's still running. But just get away from the hysteria and understand that all these things are going to be good, like we've talked about in multiple podcasts now. People want to stand on business and be like, oh, well, this is destroying the Black community, the Latin community, any of these communities. Well, there may be a little destruction on the way to where we're going. We got to demo it first and rebuild it. But all of those marginalized communities, everybody that you're trying to fight for, all these people that you want, they're going to be in a better position after everything is declared and the new legislation rolls out and they actually make these cuts and start to reciprocate that back into the community. I find it funny that even when the Doge thing came out and they were talking about the dividends checks for people and well, maybe we can get out $5,000 to the people, a little back tax for them since they've been funding all this bullshit worldwide. And then you get a Jasmine Crockett come on TV and talk about how that's not even. I'm sorry, what is she? I'm going to quote her. She said the business of the government is not to give out money. We aren't into handouts. I don't know if you know who Jasmine Crockett is, but she's this ghetto Democrat Senate from somewhere out of Texas. And she just went on to say that, $5,000 isn't even enough to help people, XYZ. This lady has a $9 million net worth. Again, you got to listen to who the fuck you're listening to. Of course, $5,000 ain't nothing for these type people because they got 10 million stacked up. They
But
got
they'll
bread
stand on
coming
the
in.
same leg and say that a dollar increase on eggs is killing our lower class.
They didn't say it for 4 years. Don't you find
Right.
that funny? 27 days into the administration, one of the big talking points from the left liberal mainstream media is inflation. But at the same, so if you understand it the way they say it, he inherited Joe Biden's economy because that's what they said when Joe Biden inherited the first Trump economy. He said, "Well, the economy's booming because of Joe Biden." In the same amount of days, by the same metrics, you have to say that the economy is an issue because of Joe Biden, not Donald Trump. But like I said, you're talking to some of the most hypocritical people on the planet right now. Think about it. Think about when he was running for president the second time, how many people we want to see Donald Trump's medical records. We want to see Donald Trump's tax records. You want to audit this man who directly has not been funneled anything but via the public. But when the government starts to audit itself, now there's an issue. We can't do that. That's against the law. That shouldn't be done. Nobody should be able to access that information. What? Make this shit make sense.
It's exciting in the sense of God, you covered so much ground right there. Almost all the notes that I have you covered. So we can kind of take a dive in the individual ones.
We ain't even done going. The lady from Fox and Friends, I don't really like watching Fox, but I think she had the best metaphor or analogy however you want to spin it. She said that the Democrat Party right now is basically the man who accused you of cheating. I'm sorry, you accused the man of cheating, and the topic is you went through my phone, not what was found. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna ignore the actual corruption and the misplacement of funds, and we're gonna talk about the fact that you did something wrong, which was not trust me. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I was like, that's perfect. I was like, damn, you yelling at the bitch because she went through the phone, but you're the one that cheated.
Yeah.
Again,
that's the American way to go after the symptoms and not the cause.
Yep.
They want to point fingers at it. But I mean, that whole analogy or argument of, where that Biden inherited a Trump economy and Trump's inheriting a Biden economy is kind of funny to me because out of the last the majority of the last 12 years you could say has been a Democratic economy.
Absolutely.
Obama was in office for 8 years.
12 or 16.
Got four years in there, and then we got another 4 years of Biden. So, how much could he have possibly done in those 4 years that they did in 12 years?
They don't want to
So
talk about that. Yeah,
They could have done everything. Joe Biden signed what? Like 5 executive orders his whole time in office. Most of them like the 2 weeks before he left to try and protect himself. They did a little more shady shit. But again, like I said, it's just so insane to me to listen to the talking points of these hysterical, hypocritical individuals who have no cosmic view. They've got no sense of the world outside of the confines of America and the communities that they've been in, where they're the most marginal, they're the most oppressed, they're the most all these things. It's like you ain't even close, and you're fighting for a system that. So the other crazy thing to me is like the talking points they have about the oppressed system is the system they're currently defending just because they've been told that now these people that are attacking it are bad. It's like these are literally I get it. Some of these people don't want immigration standards enforced, which whatever. You broke federal law. Like I said many times on this podcast, none of us get a fucking pass because of who we are, what we look like, where we're from, or what background we had, how bad it was. Like I can't go out here and pull up, you know what I'm saying? Look at somebody with any mental illness who's on drugs or damn near ready to overdose and they go out here and get fucked up. They don't have the excuse of, well, my life was bad, so we're just going to give you a pat. No, player, you're going to jail, you're going to prison, you got fines, you got penalties, you ain't going to have no jobs coming up. You got to go through all these rehabilitation programs, XYZ. So, last thing I'm going to say about the politics, and then I'll let you boys dissect it all, and then I'll throw some talking points at you. But it is just funny to me. People just look at all of them. I was never even in politics. I've never voted before until this election right here, because I just stayed away because I knew it would drive me crazy. I knew how in depth I would be with it and be like, because I don't agree with anybody, and I'm sure any of these guys in this chat will tell you. But to see how it all unfolds and to go back and look at the records, go back and look at Senator Warren when she was running for Senate. Go look at everything she said, all applicable to the things that are being implemented in the government right now. Go look at 2008 Obama running. His immigration policies was worse than Trump's. So make sense to me. Go look at all. I'm telling you, go look at all of them. Senator Warren on record before she got put in the Senate. We need to audit these institutions. If when that much money, and they were talking about little money back then, it was a couple billion, which isn't little, but compared to what's being uncovered right now, you go back and look at that. She said any number like this that goes missing, you must understand there's corruption there. We need to get to the bottom of it. Go look at Hillary Clinton running for president in 2016. Immigrants have to learn English, pay a stiff fine, all these other metrics. Worse than the administration that's here now. They're just saying you got to go home.
And they got Tom Homan out here. Oh, I love that guy. He is just
Tom Homan's a dog.
Yeah, he is just. I was gonna say unpolished. That's not the word. He is who he is.
But this is the real representation of and this is what I say. Go look at the people that's doing it and not the people that's talking about it. You want to listen to CIA analysts? Go listen to what they actually think about these people. You have the opportunity and the information now to do so. You want to understand any of it? Get on YouTube and go look at what they say. Go look at what Trump says. Stop fucking playing these games with, well, Donald Trump wants to do this. Did he say that? Not even close.
I would say just take the reporter side out of it. Watch the actual person speaking.
That's what I'm saying.
Make your own educated assumptions and decisions. I mean, there's we all know that the media reporting has been god awful for who knows how long.
It's paid for by USAID.
So a couple of them, right?
The biggest ones. The
But
ones
you
that
take that
matter.
middle person out and you go, and now we have this capability, the internet, to go and watch what that person is saying, and we can draw our own conclusions from it. We don't need to have some leaning media conglomerate put their spin on it. Now we can listen to the words and make our own conclusion from it, which is great. I was going to go back to Cash Patel because one of the things that we're all pretty juiced about hearing is the Epstein list. Pam Bondi has said is on her desk, and
Mm-hmm.
we will get to see who is on that list. Uh, Moving up in the poly market um, ranking order there at number two, Bill Clinton is moving up. I think he's at like 64% right now, which is wild. I mean, it's just it. I don't know that it's not gonna. It's not like it's given any closure or any of that shit. But it's like what's gonna definitely it's gonna let us know who the bad actors are in the space and how to move forward with them. Uh, and the P Diddy list is also being talked about being released as well here soon.
Did you hear
So
about his lawyer?
he quit
He
when
quit.
Patel got his confirmation. So what does that say?
And this
Dirty
is the guy
business.
who was defending, I think, Osama bin Laden. So just for him to step down from the Diddy case, and when he's represented people that, in our mind, is worse than that, just kind of goes to show like what really has been going on. There's a bunch of, I think the Diddy case in a way is a deterrent from the Epstein thing. I mean, they're both wrong, don't get me wrong, but the the type of people that were on Epstein are, I don't even want to say the one percenters, they're the half a percenters. The the people that are going to Diddy parties are publicly known people, like your entertainers and your actors and all that. These are Epstein Island is, you got some of them probably there, but these are government officials, these are people in Congress, these are ex-sitting presidents. Like it's more impactful, I feel, to put that out than,
I think they're both bad. You one side you got public servants, on the other side you got people who influence a lot of minds across the world.
no,
They're
I'm not
they're
saying
both
one's worse than the other, but uh I think people would feel it would strike a chord better for people to know that their leaders are corrupt versus an entertainer being corrupt. Like, yes, they influence the youth, they influence the culture, the American culture, and what's going on in media. But to what you were talking about, reporters and all that, that goes back to the same problem of with not people not taking responsibility for their crypto in favoring convenience. These people want to be spoon fed. They rather listen to what somebody else found out instead of looking into it themselves. So again, the lack of research and
lazy.
self research, that's what I should say. And the
Yeah.
internet gives you that. It's literally at your fingertips. All you gotta do is, start researching and doing some cross referencing to things, and you can get a good picture of what the hell is going on. But um I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
it's
they need to hurry up and drop the bombshell on people.
do you think that the list or any of that that's going to come out, do you think any of that will have an effect on the markets?
I mean, I don't think it would, but they're going to probably say it will. I mean, I don't, my Bitcoin doesn't care about these damn pedophiles down there on Epstein Island. It's to get away from them and their lies, you know. That's why there's no company, there's no CEO, there's no board, there's no employees, there's no paid developers for Bitcoin. It's a self-maintaining running network. And if there are developers, they're not paid and influenced by uh you know like I said, a board or a company to try to sway things in a certain direction.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, it's true. Bitcoin, you could say in theory and what it means is the most American thing you can come up with. Like self-sovereignty, decentralized. We're not relying on government. We're not relying on BlackRock. We're not relying on anybody. You know, you you put your faith in the fact that this is a self-governing system. The world has never seen anything like that. Everything has always been centralized, whether it's a company, a country, a person, or whatever, So this is what makes it unique. And we're kind of working backwards. We're basically rebuilding the banking system with what they're trying to do. Um, you're not getting away from, that's why I say the original ethos of crypto. And yes, we know that they have money to bring in and all that, but it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But I think they need to hurry up, release this information. They need to put the JFK files out. They need to put the Martin Luther King files out. They need to drop the Epstein list. So we need to shake things up. I don't know per se if it's going to directly impact the market. I'm sure it will. Somebody could fart and be like, "Oh, the stock market dropped 10% because of something stupid." They always have a
Yeah, yeah,
reason,
yeah.
man. That's why I say it's all noise at the end of the day. Best thing you can do is turn your damn computer off, turn your phones off, and just go live your life. Just quit destroying things. Quit trying to tear people down. Quit trying to tear down organizations and go build something. Fucking go build something for yourself. Like that's where we need to be. Yeah, like he said though, some things you need to flatten some things so that you could rebuild. But again, the comments, crypto Twitter is so negative right now. Just this whole space is negative, and it's you,
Because it's not what everybody wants. Yeah.
you're idling around all-time highs. Like I don't get it. Like why it could be a bummer because it's not happening right when you want it to, but be patient. Like
That's always been the name of this game, though.
it,
Patience.
it's gone up from 15,000 to 110,000 in 2 years. What are you worried about? Why are you complaining about the last 3 months? Why'd you
For
complain
sure.
about the last 6 months when shit was going sideways and you were crying because it didn't go up yet, and then it went and ran to 100K. That's why I said the next move we're going to see is going to be like a 50K swing. So, just strap in, be ready, position now, not then, not when the headline is Bitcoin hit all-time high and then you want to get in. No, get in now. Same thing with your alts. Altcoins are way down. You can go on Coin Market Cap and look at the Bitcoin price and then the altcoin season, and we're way down for altcoin season. Like, get in now. Click on the cryptos, which there's 11.8 million cryptos, which is insane because I remember in 21 there's only 10,000. So you got a surplus of just sewer water in in crypto. Like we're in Bitcoin season. It's a 28 out of 100. Click on the 11 point million and pull up the altcoin season index. And we're way past. This is the time to be allocating and getting in position. But always buy Bitcoin. Keep buying Bitcoin. Don't have a 90% meme coin portfolio and only have 5-10% in Bitcoin. You're doing it wrong. You gotta do it the other way around. Bitcoin's the only for sure as it stands right now, the most real crypto. Like it's the one that everybody's adopting. It's the one that people want to use as a reserve. They're not even saying names as far when they say crypto stockpile, they're not saying which ones. But we know for a fact that Bitcoin is going to be the one that, like I said earlier, banks are going to be backing loans for pension plans on Bitcoin. They're not going to do that with your meme coin. They might not even do it with it's going to be a while before we see even things like Solana and Cardano and all that before they're eligible for collateral. It could be sooner than expected, but I'm not basing my portfolio off that. It's just going to run with the rest of the market when we do move.
I got a question. Where was all this game when I asked you about it a little bit ago?
Hey, man.
He's still waking up, man.
That man went on a tangent. That Celsius must have hit.
Nah, it's that coffee, man. Coffee's finally starting
I asked this man a political question. He just snapped
Because
into
man,
Bitcoin.
it's all tied together. Like
It
I don't know,
is.
man. It's just all noise to me.
Well,
Like
you
I
said
don't.
it's funny you said like we need a shakeup, but like the shakeup has been, I mean, there's been a lot of shakeup. I mean, Doge, like he's talking about, like Doge has been shaking the fuck out of every. I mean, granted, like
But
the lists are a shakeup on a different level, but
yes,
Doge is unlocking this like fraud, waste, and abuse, and hopefully we can start applying that towards national debt. That's
that's
where I'm
why I
at.
said they want to tear, they want to destroy, they want to tear this whole thing down when this is really positively impacting you. They said they want to give you 5 grand. They say this lady says that's not going to do anything for Americans. But when everybody got a $1,200 stimulus check, it
Hell
was the
yeah.
world. They were loving it. They were eating it up. You know what I'm saying? If the other side of the coin did that and said they were going to audit and basically save government spending so we could have a surplus and give it back to people, they would have hailed them as the best president ever. But because of, everybody loves to hate on this administration and Elon. And again, I've said it before, I'm not an Elon fan. Like, I look at him with a healthy dose of skepticism. Like, the fact that they want to do that, I think that will impact the economy in a positive way, and to people and families that don't have money in their bank account, that only got a few $100s. 5 grand is, I want to say life changing, but it's gonna cushion them. And guess what people are gonna do? They're gonna go spend the money. They're gonna go
Yeah,
spend it. They're gonna go out and spend
direct
it
injection right back in the
right
economy.
back into the economy. And it's not like the stimulus where the government printed more money to give you money. They're taking money that they already have and they're saying, all right, we're just going to give it back, which
And
essentially,
by the way, I know the analytics. 1,200 bucks stimmy, if you got it the last time, if you would have put that into Bitcoin the day that you got it, and then you would have cashed out a year ago, you would have made 17,200 or something like that, not including the 1,200 that you put in. So
Factors.
just a little.
and that's a one-time buy.
Yep. One time, boom. Yeah, like if you were like, I don't need that shit. Okay, you don't need it. Put it somewhere where you really don't need it, right?
You know, but with that being said, though, they can't do that right now. They haven't got enough money to be able to give everybody 5 grand.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It
that's
needs to be more up to like $1 trillion for them to do that.
the 5 grand was an initial comment by Elon, and then Trump came back and said, "Well, maybe we do," because I think a lot of people are on board with like, well, if the national debt is almost unpayable right now. That was the intent behind this whole thing of like slashing and dashing. Let's start paying towards that. So one of the things that Trump said was, "Hey, let's do pay the national debt and maybe do 20% to the American taxpayers."
You know?
Anything. I mean, literally anything. It doesn't matter if you just get a $500 check in the mail because for the past, I mean, this is going on decades now, but there's been so much manipulation and fraud that all the money's just going out the wayward. If you come back and get a little money just because they saved on your taxes that we're not funneling into whatever piece of shit program you want to look at through, any of these, USAID is taking a lot of the flack, but this is like tiny numbers. This is the problem because they're just pulling back the wool just a hair and showing you, and everybody's freaking the fuck out.
Well,
So some in a manner that agree with what's being said, and then some that are fighting against it, which is, in
the
my
Social
opinion,
Security thing
ridiculous.
is bananas. People are getting paid Social Security that are older than this country. That is nuts.
You gotta that's a tough one. You got to deep dive that because I guess the program that they wrote, the code that they wrote for that, it misidentified some of those, like the 300-year-old people. That was a misidentified code. There's nobody
Mm.
that's actually collecting that. But I do believe, you get into some of those numbers where you're looking at a 1.5 million at 160 years old. Yeah, absolutely. And people say, well, how could you do that? It's pretty easy to identify in a computer that a person, a name, you can just shift the address or shift the banking route number or whatever you need to do to
Hmm.
funnel that money into some other program.
There should be a way that you have to verify you're still alive, like the what they call them, centurions, the people that live over 100. You should have to every couple of years have to verify that you're still a living person, so that you're not
Yeah.
sitting back collecting where, because
I
where
think if you
is the
make
money
it to
going?
Centurion, I mean, I think like you should get a little incentive. Like you did something right. You dodged the vaccine.
Yeah,
You
you're
doing
living
things
good.
right.
He
Yeah.
was living good.
You ate some good pasta.
But it just, I don't know, it screams red flags, and it's where, like I said, where is the money going? So all these people that are over 120 plus, because I've heard of people making it to like 118, 119. Okay, that's doable. But 130, 140, 150, 180, 300, where is all that money flowing to? Like, whose bank account is getting that? Like, is it going right back to the government? Is it going to companies? Like, is it going into personal people's pockets? Like, maybe
All
maybe
the above.
Pelosi and all these people that have 200K salaries that are worth, 50 million.
$233,000
No,
worth.
she's up to 190 million 2024.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think she's the greatest trader in the world. I think she's a criminal.
And her
She's no
fucking
she's no she's no worse than El Chapo or any of those guys.
man,
Matter of fact, she's worse. She's
I was
worse because
gonna say
she's pretending to be this good thing. At least we know that those guys would admit, hey, I'm a criminal.
that's what I'm
You
saying. You
won't
can
even
respect
admit what
that.
you are.
You can respect that.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, she's Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible with a different face on.
Yes.
She's a lizard person.
You know how Mission Impossible they always pulling face off somebody else. They portray to be somebody and they're somebody else. Um, so I got Social Security's a mess. We got federal layoffs. We got all these confirmations coming down. RFK's finally in. Tulsi's in. So
Federal
now, like
lands.
Nate said, Monday, tomorrow is going to be the day. Everybody's kind of quote unquote first day on the job, but I mean, it's kind of something I would say that the administration has already planned for. They've already kind of put things in place who they knew they wanted in there.
To tackle an impossible fucking task. You got
It's
to
gonna
say,
it's a tall order.
imagine buying a business that's negative $35 trillion in the hole with too many employees and too much fucking external noise from third parties. What would you do?
Trim the
Fucking
fat.
cut and trim the fat. The whole thing's fat. It's greased up. It's dilapidated.
You ever watch those shows where they go in like bars and restaurants and they say, you're doing it wrong. You need to stop, cut this out and add this. That's basically what's going on.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
always reduce the size of the menu.
Yes.
Gordon Ramsay does this show all the time. He goes in, he's like, "You got too much on the menu. We're gonna make it. You'll have like 12 items on your menu. Always cut the menu, which cuts the cost of how much inventory you need. And usually, I mean, for the most part, usually he's able to uh, retain most of the staff. But in some cases, if you're not needed, you don't need two dishwashers when you only got one sink.
Yeah.
Get
And
them out of
all
here.
these people want to be like, oh, the tyrannical Trump. Like, I don't know. When I got fired from my job, they didn't offer me no 9 months fucking severance pay. Yeah, all these different things that you hear. And it's like, okay, well, they were offered a buyout. 67,000 people opted in. Why are you like, that's their personal opinion. That's what their decision was. They're held accountable to their decisions. Why is the media spinning it up like it should be more than what it is? I don't
Because it's against the guy who they want.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do understand whether I'm just saying if you based in logic, not
Yeah.
funding from USAID into Politico into the three fucking headed branch of the mainstream media. But it's just it's nonsense. All of it's nonsense. I'm just fucking tired of hearing it.
Well, he's tired of hearing it. We're tired of hearing it. It's going to be so much more to come down, though. I mean, where he's talking about getting Elon to go to Fort Knox. The only
That's
thing
going
I'm
to
not
be
a,
terrifying.
the only thing I'm not a fan of is I don't want them to do a live stream because that just puts eyes on the like if he's already done the Social Security, he's already done USAID. Like I have, just go in. You don't need to live stream it because then like you're breaking down our security systems, right?
Not after they're already in the interior. You ever been to Fort Knox?
I've read about it. I've read that there's all kinds of
If
other
they,
things within the facility.
if anybody can get close to that motherfucker, let me know. I've been there. Good luck. Fucking Mark 22 start spinning up on you. You done. You can't even see it.
And you know, it's funny. They've been talking about auditing Fort Knox. Like I've heard that going around since I was little, and it was always a far-fetched thing. Like, oh, that will never happen. Like I remember hearing adults talking about like it was never a thing that they would do. And now that they're really talking about doing it, people are upset about it just because it's the people that are doing it.
Right.
But like you said, when they've been running and campaigning, you've heard people throw that out there talking about auditing Federal Reserve and Fort Knox. I mean,
Yeah, the problem was they were just talking about it. And again, they pull these fucking talking points and like, oh, these gotcha bullet points of, well, Elon's got your information. I hear nobody talking nothing from them administrations via the Patriot Act, which has been going on since 2001, where they are and they have all your information. See, do you know the people in the CIA?
they don't care about their
I
information.
know.
Everybody has your information. Your Netflix account has your information. Your every time you go buy a house or a car, the financial institution, everybody has your information. You're worried, you're talking shit about these people having your information. Like they already don't have it.
Yeah.
Like
This guy runs seven of the biggest organizations in the world. If Elon wanted your information, he could get it without any of this drama on the side. I promise you.
There's gonna be a lot more to come down. I mean, there's gonna be a lot more
Hypocrites.
fat. There's gonna be a lot more. Pull up the Doge calculator. You're gonna see that thing it's gonna continue to go up. With I mean, he goes in the Federal Reserve like he's talking about. He goes into the SEC like he's talking about, and if he goes into Fort Knox and that gold is not there, what has been accounted for that is said that it's there, that might be the price action that Bitcoin needs to go nuclear.
yeah. Again,
Because we're all going to look and go, it won't happen with Bitcoin.
Hell no. They can't audit your Bitcoin either. Get it on that
It-
cold wallet. Y'all are so against these audits. Make yourself inauditable.
Have your own Fort Knox right in your pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's called point. Oh no. No me
they will be
abyss.
able to audit it though. They can audit it because it's public.
Well, yeah. They can audit it,
On
but I'm saying
chain.
they can't. They on chain, correct?
They can't pull up on you.
Facts.
Show me your Bitcoin. Suck my dick, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fucking eat my
Yeah.
ass. It's
Uh,
hilarious.
For reference, we're at 128 billion for the Doge clock, which how many days have this thing been like a organization? What, less than 30?
I mean, Trump's been in what 27 days, something like that.
Yeah, the 20th. So my point is we're at 128 billion. How long is it going to take for them to get to a trillion? By the end, I think not even before the end of the year, you know. And what is funny is he said there's 2 trillion worth of money that is completely untraceable. So again, they're criminals too. They just don't refer to themselves as that. You're laundering money, $2 trillion worth of money that people that can't even find. So Again,
we're still on small basket shit. Once they get into the Pentagon, once they get into the Treasury, once they get into the Federal Reserve, which I don't know, can they audit the Federal Reserve? Because the Federal Reserve is not a government component.
private.
How does that really work? I guess they could get a warrant, intellectual properties warrant, and fucking go through the system. But I don't know, whatever. Fuck these people, man. They don't even know what they're talking about. Like one of the last things I'll say on the politics side is this fascination with these younger men who are on the Doge team, right? They're like, well, they're 19 to 20 something years old. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have this, they don't have that. I find it funny that the people who want the youth and the people who want all this and they want the acceptance and the involvement, they got an issue with it. And at the same time, you're going to tell me they're not responsible or, they lack accountability. But there's also the same party that says 3-year-olds have the wherewithal and the knowledge to change their fucking gender based on how they feel at the moment. So again, it just like make that shit make those 2 points make sense to me at the end of the day. If you boiled it down for like XYZ variables within the sentence, here's the equation. They're not adding up. So 20-year-old super genius, hacker, engineer, not good. Fucking infant child, they got all the information they need. They got it's just insane.
Sorry, I'm looking at some of the recent news here that ties back in to kind of levy off what you were saying. I don't think they can make it make sense without putting some crazy ideologies on it.
Yeah, and that's where they lose. They're losing everything because they're doing this 80-20 with Trump, and Trump's taking the 80 with the people that want it. So he's got an 80% issue, and he's like, all right, well, I'm on the side of the 80, and then the fucking Democrat Party picks up the fringe side and they try to shove it down everybody's throats. It's like, bro, nobody, we ain't trying to hear this. And like I said, I mean, I could go on for days just about hypocrisy and talking points. Think about it. The same woman, Jasmine Crockett, that told you $5,000 wouldn't do shit for you. They're all trying to levy legislation to get reparations for the African American community. It's like you're not in the business of handing out money, but you want to hand out money. Like, what are you talking about?
All that money they sent to Ukraine, they could have paid reparations with that money, and then that would have just been all right. This is taken care of. On to the next.
Yeah,
Like,
here's a million, here's a million, here's a million, here's a million,
but
here's
they
a
rather send
million.
it over to Ukraine to
Mm-hmm.
for bullshit reasons.
Yeah, and if money don't fix issues, why are we giving people money?
And allegedly it went there, right?
Well,
I
no,
mean, there's a lot that's
72
unaccounted for.
million made it there, 177 total. Zelensky says he don't know where it's at. Our government says they don't know where it went. Zelensky's a fucking puppet anyways. They're all fucking puppets. Who do you think installed Zelensky? CIA package from America, funded through USAID because they can't do direct funding.
Dude was an actor.
He was a man, yeah.
Still an actor.
Still an actor in the biggest performance of his fucking life.
Exactly. So they're all lying. They're all lying.
All right. The only thing I got to kind of exit out of all this is there is a boatload of Bitcoin that is unaccounted for by the previous administration that was breaking earlier today. That the number I keep seeing, it's bouncing around all over the place. So more to follow on that, but it looks like the previous administration has fumbled the bag once again, and they lost a lot of Bitcoin in association with U.S. Marshal Service. And then the last piece is Bitwise Europe has predicted a bear case scenario for Solana at 2,300 and a bull case way upward of that. We'll see where that goes. That'd be really exciting if it hits anywhere in the middle.
I think Solana needs to get off this whole like they do have utility, but I think they need to get off of the whole focus on the damn meme coin train. Like I think that will save them as a whole chain because they do have a lot of utility that other chains don't have yet, and it's actually up and running and working. But the fact that you just have like this bad narrative over it with all these coins and going, they need to learn how to separate themselves from that. Again, if one part of their chain is doing that, that's one thing, but they need to add something implemented in some other way. Again, that's why I'm a big uh I'm big on the gaming aspect because I think that's a good way to merge mainstream and people that are kind of already dealing with computers and technology and merge those two together. I mean, there will be other things. Obviously, you have the legal part of it. Like again, I always see like NFTs is like the legitimacy on there is when I can get my deed or my title to my house or my car and it's on the blockchain. Like when you go to the DMV, they can issue it and put it on a public blockchain. And we could speculate on what chain that might be and who it will benefit and reap the money from that. But I know there was a somewhere out in California a couple of years ago, they were trying to already do that. So I think that will be again, we just need to add some legitimate utility other than meme coins.
Yep. Other than that, I mean, I don't really have much more. No, I'd like to see the Ripple case put a nice bow on it. I mean, I don't know if any money was put in escrow from Coinbase one like it has in the XRP Ripple case. I don't know why I said XRP. In the Ripple case, I would like to see the SEC just squash it like they did Coinbase, and we can at least get that ball rolling since the XRP army has been holding it down for 4 years now. Deserve that much from the SEC. Uh, Onward and upward. I mean, it is what it is. Patience. Keep keep buying. Keep stacking. Keep accumulating. It's coming, and when it comes, yeah, hopefully, if y'all did it right, you'll make nice scratch, and we'll say good job. See you at the top.
See you in Costa Rica, motherfucker.
I'm gonna buy a submarine.
GTA.
I'm kidding. All right, Corey. Any last words?
Um, just stay calm. Don't let the emotions get to you. Again, if you're gonna go based off of emotion, do it in a reverse manner, not in the moment. So again, Warren Buffett been saying it. When others are fearful, you should be greedy, and when others are greedy, you should be fearful. Not when others are fearful, you should be fearful. Don't follow the crowd. It's a trap and get you in a worse position than
For
I
sure.
don't want to say where you already are, but you get what I'm saying. So, and just have some conviction, do your own research. Don't listen to what we're saying. Don't listen to what anybody else is telling you. Just look into it yourself and come up with your own conclusion and self custody your own crypto. Put it on a cold wallet.
For sure.
That's
Nate,
all I got.
I agree with Corey. Stay in your timeline, operate in your timeline. Don't listen to all these people who go, well, now's the time to buy. You know when the time for you to buy is, and you deserve whatever price you buy it at. And then outside of crypto, well, really just generally in life, everyone wants to be exceptional, but nobody wants to be an exception. People gonna think you weird because you staying home reading, or people gonna think you weird because you staying in the gym 2-3 hours a day, 10% of your day. People gonna think you're weird doing whatever it is you want to do. But if you're winning, then fuck it. I'd rather be weird and winning than be a broke ass loser.
beautiful. Love it. And I promised a little bit of sports, and I'm gonna just go on my soapbox real quick before we sign off. Last week was all the All-Star weekend type things. The NHL did something called Four Nations: USA, Canada, Sweden, Finland. It was reported that the Canada versus USA final championship was the most watched hockey game in 30 years. It was huge. If you're not a hockey fan, that was such a patriotic, proud moment. It was we ended up losing the game in OT, but it was so much fun, and it created, I think, more hockey fans. And if you're fed up with the way that I can't stand, and like I know there's everybody's an athlete, but when you have these guys skating on the ice 82 games a year plus the postseason, which can run all the way into July sometimes, and then they're firing back up in October. And then you got these NBA players who on average make 11.9 million. Hockey players make 3.2 million. Same amount of games. And these guys are going full contact, laying it all out there, just for country, right? And where
And a
in the
couple $1 million.
NBA, they don't even play defense anymore. NFL, they play flag now. I think like I can't remember who said it. One of these analysts on TV, he said it. Field Yates or something like that. He said it, but it's crazy. The NBA doesn't play defense on All-Star Weekend. It's disgusting to watch. It's a boring waste of time. You got, and they're wondering why their ratings are sagging. You got the NFL who's playing flag and it's like little corny ass drills. Bro, y'all play 17 games a year. Sometimes it extends into the postseason. It's it's a physical game, sure, but so is hockey. These guys are getting teeth knocked out. They're getting taking pucks to the face, and they're getting right back in there. It's not the same attitude. Yeah, they're both warriors or gladiators, however they want to define themselves. But if you want to watch some real fucking men play, you go to hockey and watch a game of hockey. It was such a moment to watch that like kind of all-star thing for hockey and be like, what are these other organizations doing? This shit is so corny that they're playing flag football right now. It's not fun. Like I don't it's not. I get it. Like they're beat up and they're tired and whatever. So are these guys. They're mid-season. They're trying to play for the playoffs here in 2 months, a month and a half. They're going to their last leg of the season, trying to push for that playoffs, and they're laying it out there. They're hurt. You got players who aren't playing because they got fucking broken shoulders from fighting and beating the shit out of each other. It's just, I'm just saying, hockey is where it's at. If y'all haven't watched, tune into a local team that you got around you. Get into it. The NFL it's losing its grip. I'm telling. I'm about done with it. It's a
Been
whole
done with it.
manipulation thing anyway. So
That was epic when they booed the national anthem, and before they even dropped the puck, they were throwing their gloves off and like
yeah, that was
ready
the
to whoop
first game they
ass.
played in
Yeah.
Canada, in Montreal. They booed our national anthem, and then 3 seconds in, the Kachuk brothers got down with business. And what's funny is like 25 years younger, their father Keith did the same thing. So it also came out later that in Team USA chat, group chat, they were like, "Yo, we're gonna put a hit on these boys." It was, I'm telling you, that was a fun game to watch. But that's my sports soapbox. All-Star weekend. Don't even fucking waste your time with the NBA. You got LeBron out here. He decided last minute he wasn't gonna play. Didn't even dress out, which was a joke for the team picture. It looked a joke. I love sports. It's just hard to like, look at all three of them and like it's embarrassing to see the other two versus what I just saw this past week on Thursday. So I really enjoyed it. We didn't win, but it was a fucking battle, and the fact that we are competing with such a stacked lineup that Canada had says a lot about where we are as a nation in our sports for hockey. That's all I got. Sorry to bore y'all with that.
No worries. Canada don't really want that smoke. I seen some of y'all talking online. Y'all don't want that motherfucking smoke, man. 41 million people live in Canada. I don't even think y'all can do the math. You know how big the Canadian military is?
Lay it
I
on
don't.
us.
30,000 people. That's it.
How much?
Yeah,
How
some
big is the
lady in there
American
talking about we
military?
go to war. 1.3 million right now, I think. And then you have a reserve component, and then you have just random people like me who are now civilians.
The biggest militia in the world.
The biggest militia in the world.
I love the I don't know if you guys saw it. Shane Gillis talks about it a little bit. He is Canada, y'all exist because we allow you to exist. Y'all are just the Mexicans of the North. I was like, Jesus. only, only you could get away with saying something like that. That's wild. But it's hilarious nonetheless. Anyways, again, like, subscribe. We'll be doing this again here on Wednesday. Get back on schedule. This one will probably release sometime tomorrow or Tuesday, since everything kind of slid to the right on me. Really, the guys just kind of worked with me this week. So thank y'all. Appreciate y'all, and we out this hoe.